Hello and welcome to the training video. In this video we'll be going over the details about weather, why you need it, and where to find it. Just as a refresher, I've got the GulfMed project open and I'm going to navigate over to the weather pane. As you can see, the weather pane contains all of your raw weather data, your weather import information, and your monthly heating and cooling degree days for a 65-degree balance point. We'll go back to the raw data, and you can see that the weather data comes in a HLT format, which stands for high-low temperature. The high and the low for each day are averaged to create the average temperature. Using these equations here, with the average temperature and your heating and cooling balance point, you can determine what the heating and cooling degree days are for each billing period. Just as a reminder, like we talked about before, both heating and cooling degree days must be positive or they will be zero. Heading back to the project, you'll see that the primary reason that you need weather is because most of your meters are going to tune to it. As you can see here, I've got both electric demand and consumption, both of which tune very well to weather. This equation down here requires that you have weather data be filled in, so if you don't have weather data, you might not have a baseline value for that month. Also, if you're missing any weather data, Metrics is going to give you a QC error, so let's see what that looks like. So we'll go into the weather data and delete a row. If you click the QC button, you'll see that it's now telling me my weather has data gaps, but I don't know exactly where. The easiest way to fix that is just to re-import your weather and hope that it was in there. We'll click QC again, and as you can see, the QC error is gone, so we're alright. It's very important to fix this before you try to run Report Maker, as it can cause some pretty unpredictable errors. That's probably about all you need to know about what weather is. Now you want to know how to get it. There are two different ways to get weather data. The first and best option is to have it sent to you monthly by Abraxas. The data is sent out as it is processed, which is usually about the 7th to 10th of each month. Abraxas will send you a file with all of your weather stations in it for the month. All you'll need to do is import it monthly. Weather is sold in units of site years, which is 1 year of weather for one weather station. For example, 5 years of weather for 2 stations would be 10 site years of weather. For a listing of the weather stations available to purchase, you can use the weather search tool on the Abraxas website. In this case, I've typed in New York City, and we'll go over to the search. We'll give you a listing of all the weather stations that we have nearby, as well as when we have the weather data for. Once you've found the station that you want, you can purchase it directly on the website if you have an Energy Toolbox login, or you can call the office and have an invoice prepared for you. The other option available is for you to make your own HLT file, which is a bit time consuming and difficult, but it can be done. The process is laid out fairly well in the Metrics user guide, and it follows the same steps as creating an MT1 file, but with different headings. That should be about all you need to know for weather data. If you have any questions, feel free to call Help Desk. Thank you for joining us.